One of the most exciting features on Share is co-ownership and real-time splits of revenue. So what does that mean? Well, there's a couple things. One, we have standard collaborator splits built in. So for example, if you're an artist and you have a producer and another writer on a song, of course you can add your collaborators to your splits. The way that you would do that is during the upload flow. You come to your dashboard. So we're on Share, we go to our dashboard, top right, we go to create content, and we say upload content and split earnings. And here, just like SoundCloud, you drag and drop your file, you'd upload your image, set your title, all that stuff. We won't go through that. But here is where you may add a producer. So you'd say myproducer@gmail.com, and you can set 50% splits. So this is very standard in the music industry. Of course, you're probably going to have collaborators. This is how you add them so that they're automatically paid as you're paid, which is big. Platforms like Bandcamp actually don't have this. In addition to collaborator splits, you can reserve a portion of your splits for fans. And we call this community splits. Community splits function a lot like shares in a stock. Now, it's not an investment. People aren't purchasing shares, but with Share, you can give shares to fans, and that means that they co-own a portion of the direct-to-consumer revenue stream with you. And the reason you'd want to do this is because you get the effect of having a digital street team with a lot of people who really want your music to succeed. And so this is the power of revenue sharing on Share. For example, here on the upload page, where I went to upload content and split earnings, in the community split section, I can do something like say, I want to have 50 splits reserved. That means I essentially have 50 co-ownership shares that I can distribute to fans or anyone else that now become co-owners on that direct-to-consumer revenue stream. Again, this is completely optional, but very powerful. And this is some of the things you've seen in the videos I've talked about when it comes to Share. I will go through a step-by-step process on how to set this up, but right now it's just an overview of the capability. Very important. When we talk about ownership on Share, we are not talking about the ability to make decisions, and we are not talking about ownership of the IP or the copyright outside of the platform. Okay? Ownership in this case is specifically the digital asset that corresponds to a share of the direct-to-consumer revenue sales on this platform. That's it. So you don't have to worry that when you upload, you're giving away mechanical royalties on Spotify, or your ability to license your song to TV shows, or your PRO split. None of that stuff applies here. This is specifically related to the money that is generated by purchases on the platform. Because Share is built on the blockchain, split tokens are actually transferable. So what that means is if someone actually is able to get a split of one of your songs, they can go and auction that split on an exchange. This is a little bit more advanced, but it's something that you should be aware of. That means that you can create a secondary market for co-ownership of your music on Share. So imagine, for example, just like a sneaker drop, you say there's 50 exclusive splits from my super fans. You can get one if you're in my live stream tonight. Now 50 people get those splits. The song's generating money from the direct-to-consumer sales, but also people who may not have gotten into the drop can buy splits from people who did get into the drop. And this is where you get the secondary market for splits on Share. So you may be thinking, well, how do I even get a split? So let's take a look at the marketplace. If we go to the marketplace, we can see here that, for example, the Lovesick song here has this 7 splits available. And if I click this, you can see that the song costs $1 and there's a revenue share portion here that shows that there's 7 splits. This is how people can actually get a co-ownership share of your work. They come to the link and they can click the join button and a split will automatically be distributed to them. And then they essentially have a token that entitles them to a portion of the revenue generated by this song. Let's see if we can find another one here that has splits on it. So if we go to the song Unicorns, you can see here this is a 10-cent song, and it's got 99 splits remaining, and there's a join splits button. And so anybody who has made the 10-cent transaction can come here, they can click join splits, and a split will be transferred to them. And then they are in the smart contract, which is the digital agreement that entitles them to the future revenues on all the transactions that happen for this asset. So now you can see 98 splits remaining, and you can see the people that actually are co-owners on those splits. And this is why the platform is called Share, because it's all about shared ownership and the ability to connect people and to create these economies where we can make money together faster. Fans cash out the same way that creators do. As we talked about previously, any fan can go to their dashboard, they can see the splits that they have, and they also can cash out by doing a transfer balance.